All right, Game Changers Magazine, Game Changers Media Network, Voices of the Village podcast where change starts with conversation. We're back with Miss Janean Armstrong, author, award-winning author. Make sure I get that right. Get it right. Sis, get your purse in order. Making phenomenal moves all across Georgia, Florida. I mean, you've been making moves. I saw the fireside chat that you had at downtown Atlanta when you first released the book.
Yes.
You was touching women, making sure women are growing.
Yes.
We live in Atlanta, though. You know, it's hard to get your person order when there's something going on every day. Papa Do's cooking that good alligator, you know what I'm saying? Mercedes-Benz doing something, State Farm doing something. You got to go to, I mean, you got to live the life. I mean, there's no other life like Atlanta, I'm telling you.
That's right.
And during that life, you got, you know, we making money, we got to get our person in order. Let's talk about managing the money.
Yes.
Managing the money. When you get the money and you got the money and you think, we talked about emergency savings, right? And I know Dave Ramsey talked one time, keep $1,000 in the bank account, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But $1,000 can go like that.
No, that was old school.
That was old school.
Yeah.
Tell us before we go into the next. So tell me about what's the emergency fund now? What does that look like for a family of four now?
So it really depends, as you stated, a family of four, of what that monthly budget looks like for you to sustain your household for 6 months.
Definitely.
So if you add your mortgage payment, your car note, if you got some outstanding credit cards, with that monthly payment will be minimal payment, right?
Definitely.
We always try to pay more, but with at least that minimum payment, right?
Yes.
What has cost you for the bare necessities.
Okay.
And when I say bare necessities, food.
Right.
You know, if you have to get some additional clothing, you know, your utilities.
Okay.
Try to have that compiled so everybody's budget is different, right?
Definitely.
So you look at the family of four, what you spend on bare necessities for that month, and have 6 months of that in your emergency savings.
Definitely.
Because that'll buy you time to where you don't feel the stress when life happens.
Definitely.
You will be able to prepare and not panic.
Okay.
Because you're already in a stressful situation trying to identify what's your next move.
Yes.
And then you got to decide if you're going to just take anything because you don't know if you live in paycheck to paycheck.
Okay.
When you got 6 months in reserve prepared for your bare necessities,
definitely.
It gives you a sense of peace to where you can really identify your options.
Yes.
And so I would tell anyone, no matter if you're a family of 4, 2, or 10, try to save as much as you can for the bare necessities.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Now I know growing up, 19 back in the day, you know, when our parents was coming up, granddaddy went to work, mama stayed home.
That's right.
And a lot of African American women were left stuck when granddaddy died. Like, what's going on? They found out they had other family members other places, and it wasn't no insurance policies in place. I mean, and grandmama had to survive and be strong. Tell us how that played into where we are today as a culture, and why it's so important, you know, for us to get past that, because I mean we still live with that stigma.
We do, and then that's another reason why, as I've been in an executive game, as you stated, I've been leading teams from Florida to Georgia, leading different states and banking centers, and one thing I've identified specifically around life insurance, we don't do well with that. Because we don't want to pay the premium. Because we don't see the tangible effect of it right at that moment. We're a fast-growing pace. We want to see it when we pay for it. Like you said, Atlanta got stuff going on all the time.
All day.
So we want that immediate fix, right?
Yes.
So we'll go out there and drop $100, $200 at brunch, buying the Mimosas Towers. Eating banana French toast dishes, and we done finished up with paid a $250 bill. That's an insurance policy.
It is.
That's an insurance policy.
Yes, it is.
So what happens is, then when someone in the family passes away, which this is one of my major pet peeves, this GoFundMe. So now we got to put on social media asking everybody to contribute $20, $30. Well, you just dropped $20, $30 at the brunch spot. See where I'm going? So what we got to do is change the narrative with that. We got to change our mindset. You heard me say earlier, it's a mindset shift. And so the younger you are, the cheaper the premium, because you're healthier, right? So if you're a young man, 26 years old, You could go get $1 million policy right now, probably pay $50 a month. Seriously. You got to go talk to an insurance agency, let them find the right policy for you.
Okay.
But I would tell you, the younger you start, the better you are. And then guess what you do? On chapter 6 and 6, get your purse in order, I talk about trust and wills and insurance.
Okay.
You know what a trust fund, baby, is? It's not because they was rich and had all this corporations. It's because their parents bought some insurance policies and put it in a trust.
Wow.
They put it in a trust.
Wow.
And so when they went on to transition, they didn't already set their generations up millions behind insurance policies.
Absolutely.
That you can put in a trust, borrow against it, pull from it. So when I tell us African Americans, skip one weekend of brunch and get you an insurance policy. Now. One weekend.
Now, modern age, 2026, fast forward from the old school days when granddaddy wasn't here. Now we got everybody bought it. We got some rich, wealthy African American people. But we got rich people, and I'm just sort of, and I want to talk about the African American community wealth, but we got rich people. You got some women out here making the bag, and you got some men out here making the bag. Post nuts, pre nuts. You talk about that in your book as well.
Yes, chapter 7.
So we now we got the family dynamic, and we're getting married. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me.
So the reason I went there in the book, because I married later in life.
Okay.
So my very first marriage, it only lasted a year.
Okay.
But I was 42 years old. So let me walk you down this journey.
Okay.
I was heavy in my career.
Okay.
Making well over 6 figures.
Wow.
Had my daughter.
Okay.
Had the house. Had the white picket fence. The only thing I didn't have was the husband.
Wow.
So I went in head first.
Okay.
Thinking this the last check mark of the box I needed to fill in my life. I didn't look at the man or the person. I looked at this list that I had for myself. So what I did, when the first brother rolled up and said they was ready, I jumped.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was trying to fulfill a list.
Okay.
That was first mistake 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3.
So now I've been in my home already 10 years with my daughter.
Okay.
He moves in.
Okay.
Because I chose for him to move in our home because I wanted to show that stability for my daughter.
Okay.
Because it was just her and I for a very long time, and to already get married and then uproot her out of her childhood home, I think would have been a lot for her.
Definitely.
So I wanted to maintain some stability for her.
Right.
So I had him move in with us.
Okay.
He wasn't in the house 3-4 weeks, already wanted his name on the deed.
Wow.
So think about this. Because people got to remember, when you get married, especially later in life, and you got your assets and they got their assets, this is a business.
It's a business. Yes.
See, marriage is great, but I ain't never seen a brother roll up on me in a white horse and say he about to save the day. That's some doggone fairy tale storytelling stuff. They need to stop sharing that too.
They do.
Because that got people in fantasies, right? But that's what, I never saw a brother roll up on me in a white horse.
Wow.
So when you look at coming in your 40s, or even 30s, and you bringing a business together, you need to have a good contract, and that's a prenup.
Absolutely.
Because if you got assets and he got assets, and if both of you got children outside of the marriage, it doesn't just protect you and him, it protects the whole family. So when I wouldn't put his name on the deed, because if we would have divorced or something with that perspective, them 10 years that I already been in the home, he would have got half of that equity.
Wow.
Because now it's marital assets.
Yes.
So I was smart and I didn't do it. So then he wanted to refinance it and put his name on the loan. Well, again, some of that equity he would have received. So I was like, no. And he got so angry to where he said, well, I'm just not going to pay the rent. I'm not going to pay the mortgage. Because he felt like he was giving me the money. I told him that was fine. Because I made enough money to pay my own mortgage. Now, so let me just say, that marriage lasts no more than a year. Because I knew what that looked like. So now I married the love of my life, who I should have married prior to marrying this.
Shout out to Mr. Tony.
Mr. Tony, my husband, my baby, my love of my life, my everything.
Yes.
When he came and we decided to get our stuff in order, we sat on the couch in a very loving, unconditional way. And we talked about what we had. We pulled each other credit scores up.
Okay.
We pulled our 401ks up.
Wow.
Both of us was very transparent what we was bringing into the business and what both of us was going to have if something, unfortunately and hopefully never, if this relationship goes to the left.
To the left, right.
And we came together not only in a loving way, but as business partners.
Right. Equally yoked. Wow.
And if that person don't understand that, you may want to do a gut check.
Yeah.
Because it's not about you getting something or he getting something. It's about us protecting the generations to come. And because of that, he and I are able to love each other unconditionally because we already did the hard work up front.
Man, let me tell you something, man. Some of these married folk don't even know their spouse bank account. You know what I'm saying? Ain't never seen the bank. So y'all talking about 401ks and life insurance policies and all this good stuff, and we got people out here don't even know they spouse bank account. Present day. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, don't even have a joint account. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're operating as roommates and not business partners in love.
Wow.
That's what they're operating as.
Wow.
We have a joint account. We have our personal account.
Okay.
My husband knows that I'm the financial guru. So he knows that's my strength.
Definitely.
So the one thing he always told me, and I thought this was hilarious, but it worked for us because everybody has their own way of doing things.
Definitely.
But we got a joint account that we pay all our household bills and all that things out of, and if we need to get some additional funds.
Okay.
But he said, okay, that's your show. That's what you've done for 30 years. I trust you.
Definitely.
But he has access to it. And he'll review it every month. If he have any questions, he know he would come to me. But this is what he said to me. This was 6 years ago.
Okay.
He said, Janine, run the show. But if I ever walk through that door and I cut that light switch on and that lights don't come on or we get a pass-through notice talking about something ain't paid, I'm taking over. I'm taking over.
That sounds like a man right there.
And I said, well, you ain't got to worry about that. So, and then, when them Amazon boxes come a little bit too freaking, then he'll go check that count a little bit more. He's like, wait a minute, girl, you do a little bit too much of that.
Y'all know how to hide them Amazon budget, because I promise, man, my wife keep an Amazon budget. I feel like Amazon, we got stock in Amazon.
I know I should have stock in
Amazon.
On. Yeah, it's bad. So, but the good news story, he's never came home.
Wow.
And everything is on. And he never got a pass-through notice, so we 6 years in and we ain't had no drama.
Wow. Now, you recently lost your father.
Yes, I did.
Your man. And I know how close you was to your father. Because when I met you, you talked a lot about your father. Yeah. And I kind of talked about, we talked about you growing up and some of the things that you went through. Did that play effect in the way you wrote this book and the direction of how you wrote this book?
Yes. Because my father had got early onset dementia. In his late 50s.
Okay.
So my father transitioned in June 2024. My dad lived till he was almost 79 years old. So from 56, 7 up to 70, I was his caregiver.
Definitely.
I managed all his monies and things of that nature. But the reason this really hit home, specifically around life insurance and all the things, is because we don't talk about long-term care.
No.
We don't have the insurance to do what we need to do for our parents that are becoming older.
Yes.
And because my dad was a Vietnam vet, I was able to tap into those resources from the VA.
Definitely.
But let me tell you a secret. When the last 3 to 4 years of his life, we had to put him in a memory care home because he had lost his eyesight, half his hearing, and we needed 24-hour care. But the good news story, it was literally outside my gate, so I could see him every day. So it was like I made it in my head like this was an extension of his bedroom.
The
reason this is important, his care, even though I was there almost every day, and my brother, my husband, and my daughter, we all, surrounded him, it still was $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month.
Wow.
And that was on the low end because of all the resources that we was providing them, right? A lot of American families can't afford $4,000 a month
to
care for their elderly parent. And a lot of times we'll move the parent in our home, but if you working full time, your spouse working full time, and your parent need 24-hour care, that's just a whole nother level of stress and mental anguish and trying to care for so many, you know, things. So when I wrote this love letter, I thought about the daughters and the mothers and the aunties that still is caring for their parents. And making sure they have the resources to support themselves. And I would tell everyone on this call today, check into long-term care for yourself so you won't have to put those burdens on your children.
Man, you guys heard that, man. We gotta definitely prepare to get old.
Prepare to get old.
Prepare to get old. You know what I mean?
And I would tell you, when Dad passed, I did have a life insurance policy on him.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you what type of peace that was.
Talk to me.
He passed here in Georgia with me.
Okay.
But I know my daddy wanted to go home.
Okay.
So when it happened, the first thing I told him, I'm taking you home, Daddy.
Okay.
That was in Arkansas.
Okay.
When I got everything situated, just to fly Daddy home and do the prep work to prepare his body to go home, that was on top $3,000. Just on the jump.
Okay.
Just to get him home.
Wow.
So then we get him home. Then the funeral home got to pick you up, and then you go to the funeral home. Now you got to pick out everything and get everything situated. The one blessing for me, because I had an insurance policy on Daddy, that was I was able to grieve my father and not worry about money.
Wow.
I didn't have to worry about how I was going to get my dad home.
Wow.
I didn't have to worry about what casket I was going to put my father in. I was able to put him in the one I want him to have.
The one you want him to have.
I was able to give my daddy a wonderful home going.
Wow.
And we did the salute with the military, and they celebrate him because he was a Navy vet. But I will tell you this.
Okay.
It's a different type of grief and stress when you don't have that life insurance policy or the monies to do what I was able to do for him.
Definitely.
Am I right?
Oh man, it's a totally blessing.
So that's why these insurance. So stressing out about setting a GoFundMe account up, stressing about how we go get this person home, and all.
Correct.
That's another stress, because grieving by itself,
man,
is traumatic.
Definitely.
Grieving loss is traumatic.
I agree.
So if you're going through a traumatic situation and then you got to worry about money, that's too much.
Man, you know,
that's too much.
It's definitely too much, and woo. Man, we gotta go to another commercial break because you just left the microphone smoking, and we gotta give a shout out to our other sponsors of New Well over there on Rock Creek Road, helping adults living with IDD. This mental health. This month is mental health month, and New Well, they're doing phenomenal things over there. Rock Creek Road, Ms. Rhonda Crockett and her staff helping adults who live with IDD. We also want to give a shout out to who's that? Miss Community Care Homes, Miss Kathy Burt over at Community Care Homes. She also deals with adults who have brain traumatic injuries, doing phenomenal work, group homes. So if you guys need any personal caretaking for any adults who need personal assistance during the day, make sure you guys get with Community Care Homes, a New Well, Ms. Rhonda Crockett, Ms. Kathy Burt, doing phenomenal things in the community. You guys stay tuned. Game Changers Magazine, Game Changers Media Network, Voices of the Village podcast, where change starts with conversation. Ease up.
And equality, now the world they will see.